My function was to kind of give a lay of the land. What does Montana's economy look like? And happy to report, Montana's economy looks great. Usually you would never hear anyone complaining about low unemployment levels. But we do have an interesting phenomenon in that we have a lot of baby boomers about to retire over the next decade, and not as many 16 to 24-year-olds to fill those slots as we'd like. So we're here from the Department of Labor to just talk about some possible solutions, and really talk about some really innovative partnerships that we are creating between the Department of Labor and some of our workforce training grants and higher ed and private sector employers. Because what we've said is we just don't have 2, 4, 6 years for people to leave the workforce and get training. So we're really advocating to streamline that process, speed it up, and then we're really advocating for employers to do some of that training on the job so that we have someone who's getting the training but still producing a good and service at the same time, because that's what we really need to do to solve this problem.
Is Montana having to compete for workers? I know that Washington, Oregon may have higher salaries. How does Montana compete?
Our wages are going up. We're still very low comparatively, and that's why a lot of the programs we have created a program, a Choose Montana program in the state where we're working with higher ed to recruit our alumni back, but that's a difficult thing. And it hasn't been very successful in any state. So what we're really doing is marketing Montana as the great place to do business that it is. And I would say Governor Bullock's doing a great job really working on that issue. But more importantly, what we're really trying to do is really turn the dial in higher ed and in training programs generally by doing more work and more training on the job, less time in a classroom. And that is what the data tells us we need to do, and really we're seeing some tremendous work and some really different ways of looking at things coming out of both our high schools and our colleges, and our job services are working with those folks to tie them to some actual money sometimes to train folks. So we're really looking at this as an opportunity, not anything negative. It's great that our economy is still doing well, and what we know, both the businesses in this community as well as at the state, is we got to work together to really keep that process growing and streamlining our training process to make sure that our businesses have the workers they need to grow.
The focus this year is on workforce and the concerns for future workforce and the shortage that's projected. And so we put a panel together mainly to inform the business community, to let them know. Most of them do know, but there are a lot of things happening in our high schools, in our Missoula College, and in our in the job service and grants to help people find that training, find maybe a new career path, encourage them to come back to work if they're not there, so that we have a full workforce, and as we move forward and we keep seeking ways to get them trained faster and quicker. So that's what we're working on.
I think a lot of folks may be a little bit surprised who are just regular folks out in the community that could think, oh my gosh, there's a shortage of workers, because all we've heard about in the past is can't find a job, find a job. That's changed.
That's changed. They're saying they're estimating about 6,500 a year new jobs that are going to be coming in that we need to fill, and there's only, I think, 4,000 with the age, kids coming out of high school. So there's definitely a gap. But more importantly than that is the training that they get needs to be quicker. Maybe while they're working, they can get some additional training to do that next step up in their career. So there's a lot to think about so that we're prepared versus sitting back and letting things just happen.
How about older workers who may be looking for a new career?
Well, what I'm hearing, it's kind of good that some of us older workers are hanging on because they need us right now. And so I think really, honestly, if you love what you do and you still enjoy going to work, I think that Missoula and our state needs us who've been around the block a few times for a while longer, and to help train and help the new ones coming along. So I would encourage them to stay.